This is just AMZN on Thursday, October 4th, 2018. And today we just continued to sell off. I was looking for a retest back up to about 1972.50, 1975, somewhere there, and then a roll back down to 1925. So I was calling for a 50-point move. That's what I thought would happen. I just didn't expect it to start at open at like 1950 and get all the way down to 1900. So I was off from where it was going to start and end, but I got the 50-point move. I thought that was pretty cool. And then looking at this, you can kind of tell, okay, this was an accumulation through here. And then it just turned into a distribution and continued on lower. So this, it's kind of hard to see. There's a little bit of lower highs, a little bit of higher lows or relative lows here. Kind of makes this look a little bit like a triangle. It's a stretch, I know. This last part of it definitely looks like a triangle here. And that's what continued on lower. But I didn't see many triangles in here today. And I'm always looking for those because that's just where it consolidates, gets a little bit tighter. The one I did see was right in here. Some lower highs, some higher lows, and then it broke down. It broke down, then retested on this candle. So if you're looking at the 1040 candle, you're retesting the low, retesting kind of a triangle with a double top here, sort of just this triangle, not all of this, retesting kind of that breakdown. And then you're holding on until it gets down to 1900. But there wasn't really a good triangle in here. I mean, this one inside candle went higher, went into a high wave candle, and then just rolled over. But there's not really a triangle in here. Way back up here, you've got kind of the 1952, 1950 range as somewhat of resistance, old support, new resistance, and that's where we opened. We actually pushed up through it and then just rolled right back down. So that, maybe you were looking to get in there. But like I said, I was looking to get in bearish up here. Thought we would actually retest a little bit more, being that we were opening right in the middle of this area. But instead, nice round number, sold off. And then a little bit of a triangle here. That was just kind of a continuation. And then not really any other ones till you got to here. And then that just didn't work. That was trying to go bullish. And then that pulled back further. And just not really any clear triangles. This is a little bit lower high here and higher low here, maybe. But, I'm not really counting all of the aftermarket movement to say that that is a whole triangle, but we'll see what happens, with pre-market tomorrow when we're going over the video tomorrow night. It could be, this could be a triangle here. So I hope you're seeing that. I don't have the sketch tool on to draw it, but if that's a triangle, we'll see how it actually plays out, but I'm not sure if it'll actually do something because it's aftermarket data. So we'll see if we open in this range and what we do. If we end up continuing lower, move higher. The next line I've got lower is 1880. And we came into that one and we actually came down almost to 1865, 1863, 84. We did come down to 1865 on this move. We could do that again. We've got some momentum building up here at the squeeze. We've got some higher volume today with the sell-off. Now, each of these times that we had these volume spikes, this bearish candle, now this one, I mean, you can go look at, not that one, I guess, but this one. The next day was, a bullish candle, or at least closed positive, which we are overdue for, this being the fifth bearish candle in a row. Talked about that that hasn't happened in a while. I don't even remember how far back we scrolled. That was 5 right there, and then a bullish candle. We could be doing something like this. This was from an all-time high. Anyway, we could have a little bit of a bullish move to kind of recover a little bit of this. If we were to gap up a little bit and then continue on up, that could be a one-white soldier. Could look similar to this, where we're in this range. Actually, these two candles look pretty similar to me. Lower wick, a pretty decent-sized body, and didn't quite get the gap down we got here, but it's still really close there. But anyway, this is a really nice pullback. This is a really nice distribution up here. Anywhere in here could be kind of the lows. This whole range, and then this range can be the highs, but it means we could continue to stay in this chop around. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. If we go back to look at this, unless you were in and just holding on from an option that you had yesterday, I felt like it was hard to find a good place to get in today. You may have had to wait until we were already into 1925 and then rolling over from that, like this evening star reversal or the stair step here into a rest after battle, and then that breaking down. Those are a couple opportunities here, or then this retest. So those are like three signals saying, hey, we're going to continue on lower. So get in bearish, and then just take that down to 1900 or some other number you've got, but I just like the nice round numbers like 1900, 1925, 1950, 1975-ish. I'll put that on there. 1990 has been in line, but that's, it's not as round of number as the other ones. Anyway, so let's go look at 1005, look at 1030, and look at 1040 on the puts. This is the 1900 put, which is the target, if you're looking for that kind of a move. So forget all this and trying to play this. Let's see, the 1005 was this candle. So that would have been your morning star or evening star reversal on the stock as a morning star reversal here. Just getting in there, that would have been a new low from this kind of consolidation here. But not sure what your entry would have been, not sure what your stop would have been, because there's not really clear $1 risk. You're just getting underneath a couple of these candles, but it's not a pivot. Now the stair step that turned into a rest after battle, that could have worked. Maybe a 7 by a 6. Just looking at these candles, possibly. And then 1040 was this pullback. Maybe setting that up like 8, but that was the low, 8 by 7. But again, I don't know if $100 would have worked on a risk like this. Possible. But, we're already at the 1900 strike and we opened at 1950 and we've been moving down towards it. But, there's no guarantee it's going to move into it, which it actually did, here. But let's say it worked to get in 7 by 6. That's kind of the most promising one that I'm seeing here, that we've already done the reversal, but, we're resting a little bit and then we're going to get in. If it was this candle at 1030, your entry was 7, wouldn't have filled. But if it was somewhere in here and you were getting in, 7 by 6, maybe, let's say that's what happened. Got in at 7, and you're going to hold it into 1900. You may have gotten out at 15 or 16 or something. So going from 7 up to 15, that's 8. It's an 8-hour day, just that move. You didn't even catch the whole move, but that was a decent part of it. I mean, even a couple of hour would work great if you're just holding it in that kind of range. If we look at a different strike, like let's say we're opening at 1950 and you're saying, hey, I want this to continue on. That was a nice continuation pattern, and you got out. If you were in something, you're just going to get back in. You could have been getting in at the open. The open price here was, let's just call it 7 by 6. 6 would have been below some of the lows here. It may have worked, and just held on to it all through this, continuing on higher. If you had bought at the open for like 7, yesterday's highs through here, and just held on, could have exited at 27. That's a 20R day if you just held it. If you had gotten in on a retest, again, having your stop below a pivot would have been like getting in somewhere in here, like maybe 9, maybe 10, with a stop down at 8 or 7, 6. I don't know. That's too much of a range on that. But that would have, this candle, the 855 candle, I believe, was this bullish one here. No, it's this one, the indecision one. So that indecision candle is fairly large, but turned into an evening star reversal right here, which is a retest below. Makes sense to roll over there. It's just I was looking for a triangle, looking for more retest. But there's a lot of bearish candles at this open, and then we just go sideways and then continue on bearish. There's not been much buying that's really moved this thing. So a little bit yesterday in here, just going sideways. A little bit to end the day. We didn't actually close, kind of at the low like we did yesterday, closing down here near the low. There's a little more bullishness that's come in here, but it's just really not as clean as yesterday, where this just chopped low, high, low, high, low, high so much. This is going kind of to a low, up, back down to a low, then up to that same high, and then sideways, then up a little more, and then back to the middle. I mean, this is kind of all over the place. So it looks like, maybe the bears aren't pushing it down as hard anymore, and the bulls are starting to get their feet wet, getting in a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. It's possible. If you look at the calls, buying calls off of 1900, I guess that's the only thing you can do. 1925 calls. We're pretty flat down here. Let's get rid of some more. Oops. We'll look at later in the day. Why is it doing that? Oh, it's this. I got to turn off this theoretic price. Oops, wrong one. Settings, edit. That's what's throwing it off. There we go. Okay. See if that works better. The range. That looks better. Okay. So it was too flat. All right. So if you're just looking at this, so forget what we got up here other than maybe a target. No, didn't even get that high. All right. Come all the way down here. And you're looking to bounce off of 1900. We first do it right here at 1120. So let's look at 1120. Oops. 1120 was right here. And that range was a dollar range. That could have worked. So, or less than a dollar range. So you could have gone in above the high. So let's say 625 by 525. That would have worked. Just bracket that, and then that moves up. Doesn't quite, oh no, it does. No, it doesn't quite get up to 825. So maybe not 2 hours on that. And then that kind of consolidated, broke down further, and then that would have moved up. So if you had somehow waited to this, that was this, not even that one, that was this push through a retest. So this looks like it was breaking down more. It's gone so far. It's gone from, what was it, 2033 and change all the way down to under 1900. So I'm not sure what percentage that is right off the top of my head. 5-6%, something like that. Still not massive, just, another breakdown here. It didn't work. So if you've been looking to buy somewhere in here with Morningstar reversal, something like that, obviously counter trend, obviously you just want to get in and out. If you're, again, just bracketing, you could have done this one 550 by 450. Looks like that would have worked. And then that would have gone up to 750, which is your previous high. So that would have worked for 2R, but not much more. And again, this is the 1925 calls, so you're way out of the money. It doesn't even get close to getting up there. We only got up to 1916, 74 cents on this candle. So we didn't even get into the 1920s to make that even closer. So, just these big moves, they they've not really liked the bulls, but there's some trades in either direction. And we will continue to take a look tomorrow, see what we do, if we actually move up a little bit more, or, like we started to today here, or if we're going to go sideways, roll over some more. I would like to see a bullish candle like this, something crossing back over this line. If we get a candle really similar to this, I mean, we could still just chop sideways for a little bit and then go lower. I mean, it's set up that it could do that. And we got a squeeze that's lost a lot of its bullish momentum already. And let's see. I think it actually turned to bearish momentum. I think we have, let's see, the value. I think it's the Y value there. I think that, so this one was, the Y value was 360. This one was, no, it's still positive. No, what's it reading? 134. No, minus 3. 18. I'm not sure what that is now. Never mind. I don't even know how to read the what that value is. But, I usually just look at the where the chart's going. Let's go. There you go. That's what I want to see. Okay, we still are bullish, just losing bullish. We haven't gone bearish yet on the momentum, but we had a start of a squeeze that looked like it triggered and then went back into a squeeze. So when we do things like that, get ready for a bigger move. It's really all this means is get ready for a bigger move. Now we had a big pullback. Now let's see if we actually bounce here and rally up again to an all-time high. But take a little bit of profit at this high and then at this high and then hold on to something, and we'll see if we start on that. We don't have to. We could have a little more of a pullback. It's October now, and a little more of a pullback into a solid, really clean support. Some consolidation and then a clean bounce from there. Much like something like this, where we went sideways for like 2 weeks. Similar to this, sideways for almost 2 weeks. We've been going sideways. We did about a week here. We've done this whole thing, but a way larger range. We need some smaller candles to come in and just take us sideways a little bit. That would be a really good consolidation before it continues either direction. And we'll look for some signals to say, hey, yeah, it's time to get in and go with that direction. Now, overall, it's still bullish. Obviously, it's been going up for a long time. Doesn't mean it can't pull back a little more. And some people will be jumping on then. Let's say it gets down to 1880 here, gets below that. I'm sorry, 1865, gets below that, takes out that low. People are going to be getting on there saying, okay, now it's going bearish. But I mean, up here was the place to short where we had some resistance already. That was the right place. And had you done that a couple days ago with any of these out of the money strikes, you would have been massively up. And we were talking about how much the resistances were here. So anyway, kind of all over the place with this. We'll see what happens tomorrow with the options, and continue to evaluate what's going on with Amazon. Hope you enjoyed this video. This is Justin Amazon. Thanks.